Greetings, programmers, and here we are up to our third edition of the memory tutorial for we're writing a memory game inside of Scratch. It's Busted
Hello.
Thumbs here, and as you just heard, Fluffy Witches is still with me. And where we left off in our second installment there, we were creating the tiles, the cards that is used for memory. We'd done the card back, which is this little kind of red one we have up here, and we were working on making sure we had 15 card fronts. And it's going to take us a little while to do all of this, I think, but we'll get started. If you recall, the way we did that is we went to our card front and we duplicated that, and then we were picking images that were already in the Scratch library. And we were trying to kind of stick with a plants and animals, a nature kind of theme inside there. And we've got a butterfly now, and we have a snowflake. There's got to be some other stuff in here that's worth doing. There's a puppy. You like any of those dogs?
Yeah.
Or the dove? I like the dove. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Which one do you think we should do?
How about the dove?
The dove?
Yeah.
Wings up, wings down.
Wings up.
Wings up. Okay, dove. The dove is going to be our next one. Let's stick that guy in there. And the way we would do that is to take him, and we're just copying and pasting him right into our cards, and then we size him back to a size that'll fit. Still a little too big. You're down just a little bit more. Maybe we can make him a little bit bigger. Something like that. Alright, so now we've got a dove. Now we're going to have to do this over and over again. And while I do that, while we pick some out, I thought it might be nice to hear some of the stories that Fluffy Wishes has had for when she's done Scratch. What kind of projects she likes to do. Because she's done a number of them now. And while she's talking about that, maybe I'll just keep going, making up to 15 of these guys. So, I know you've done a lot of projects. What's your favorite one so far?
Well, my favorite one isn't quite finished yet, but I'm working on this one called The Mystery.
The Mystery?
It's about, basically you're a detective, and there's this mystery. The mayor's daughter has been kidnapped, and you have to go around and you have to click on things, and
So
you have to find out who did it.
Is it somebody else's story, or is this the story that you created?
I just made it up.
It's one you made up. Okay, that's cool. So what happens in the very beginning?
Well, in the beginning, you're in your office, and you just start and you go around and you explore a bit, and you find out that the mayor's daughter is missing. She's been kidnapped. And you click on things and you
What kind of things do you click on? Where are you?
well,
You're the detective, and what are you looking at?
well, you start in your office, but you can open a map to get to different places in that sort of world. There's like the mayor's house and Main Street and 22nd Street, which is the place that the daughter was kidnapped. And you go to like the street and you find a part of her dress, or you go to Main Street and you find a fingerprint on the wall.
And these are all clues.
Yeah, and you have a file of all of the people in that sort of town, and you go through the files and you take the clues and you try to figure out who it is. Who did it?
Okay, that sounds like fun. Is that a project that you've shared yet, or are you still working on it?
I have shared it, but it's not quite done yet.
A work in progress.
I shared it because I wanted to see if anybody knew of any glitches or anything that I still haven't found.
Okay. So what makes that your favorite project? And here I'm just finishing up a parrot. I've done a parrot and a penguin and a lion.
Well, I think I like that project the best because that was my biggest project and that was my hardest project. I worked on that project for a long time, and also because I kind of like games that are sort of like that game. And I just think it's a fun game.
Which monkey do you like?
The one with his hands up.
This one?
Yes,
Okay,
monkey
let's do that
2A.
Here we go. Now we've got a monkey. And I'm just, over and over again, I'm just copying these guys, making them the right size, fitting them inside. So we get a little bit of a consistent type of look in each one of ours. And then I rename each one of these costumes for the sprite. So here we go. There we've got our monkey. So how many do we have now? Looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What? We're almost halfway there. Let's try another one. What kind of games do you like to find on Scratch that other people have done? What are some of the fun ones that you found out there?
Well, there's this one game, I think it's called Gravity. I really liked that game. It was a puzzle game, and basically what you did is you started out with as a little block, and you're in this sort of screen with a whole bunch of other little blocks on it. And you basically like change the gravity and you're trying to get to the end goal, and I think that game's really fun and it's really challenging. And yeah.
There's a lot of neat things that have been made on Scratch. What kind of things were the first things that you did?
Well, because I started out in school with Scratch, I did mostly little things like animating a rocket ship so it looks like it's flying, or things like that.
Okay,
But
so you started out with just making things move around.
yes,
Like that. I like this octopus. Which one of these octopuses do you like?
the one Octopus B.
Octopus B? Okay, let's take that. Okay. So what did they ask you to do while you're in school?
Well, I can't remember it all that well because it was a long, long time
How long
ago.
have you been using Scratch?
I don't know, at least like 3 years,
Yeah.
maybe.
That's cool. Octopus, like that. That's how we spell octopus. We still need a few more.
You just deleted the wrong one.
Did I?
Yep.
Oh, it's terrible. That's alright, we know how to fix that. All we have to do is duplicate this guy again. Make sure we've got that one copied that we can paste in here, and we just have to resize it again. Almost everything you do, and I try and tell this to everybody who learns how to program, whether it's in Scratch or not, is you're just going to make mistakes from time to time. And the nice thing is that because programming is all about doing little tiny steps, lots of little tiny steps all arranged the right way, you usually can figure out where you went wrong and figure out what the new steps are to make it right again. So we've got an octopus. Let's see, more animals. We need to have some flowers too, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, or some flowers or other nature type things. Let's go back to all, see if there's anything that we've missed, because that snowflake was pretty cool. And we should have some other things that are kind of like that. Well, an earth would be kind of a nature theme.
Mhm.
What do you think about that?
All right.
Let's take the earth. So we'll take the earth and we will put it right there. Oops, that's still the octopus. We didn't copy the earth. Got the earth. Put the earth. Oh, the earth came pre-sized. Isn't that nice? The earth's just the right size.
It's wonderful.
That's very nice of it. And we'll name that earth, and we didn't rename our octopus. And our duck needs to not have a 2 inside of it. There we go. And then we don't need that earth. So we're getting closer. Let's keep going. Gonna make some new ones here. There's some fruits in here. We could add those. I wonder if there's any flowers. Be nice to have a flower. There's a tree. That's kind of a Christmas tree. I don't know if we want it.
There's more trees, like those 2 trees and
Oh,
that.
yeah. Well, maybe one of these trees. Do you like tree A or B?
B.
B?
Has more berries on it.
Alright, let's take tree B. This is why I brought you along, because you have a better idea of what these things should be in this game. I just make it work. It's always good to have, when you work in a game studio, you have both programmers and artists, and they have to work together. And that can be part of the fun of working in a game studio. You have very artistic oriented people, and you have very technical oriented people, and sometimes people are both, but not all the time. And that's fine. If you have one skill and not another, it's great to be able to work together on projects. I think we only need maybe 4 more. Let's go back to get some animals again.
You only need...
How about a bat? Would a bat be okay, or is that too scary?
Kind
of scary?
We already have quite a few animals.
Yeah. What other things do we have? Holly. Well, that's kind of a Christmas theme again, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Sun?
Alright.
I like the sun.
That's very
Like
naturey.
the sun. Let's copy the sun. Well, the Earth is just the right size, but the sun's a little big. So we're going to have to bring the sun down a little bit. But that makes sense too, doesn't it? Because the sun's quite a bit bigger than the sun.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. So now we have that sun. We can get rid of the one beneath it. So we can name this one Sun. I think we need 3 more.
Your Earth has a 2 on the end of it.
Oh, it must have been the other one. Was still named Earth. Okay. Alright, so let's find another costume. Apple?
Apple works.
Apple works. Let's take the apple. Put the apple inside. Oops, there. That guy's actually a little bit small this time. So we actually get to make him bigger for a change instead of smaller. Maybe like that. Called that one Apple. 2 more. And I think it's okay to get another animal.
Alright.
The ladybug. I like that ladybug.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of colorful. Let's take that ladybug. And let's put that ladybug in here. And just the right size again, which makes it a lot easier. Call this one Ladybug. What do they call ladybug in the UK, in England? Remember?
No. But you call your ladybug a ladybug.
Yeah, in the UK they call them ladybirds.
Yeah, but you accidentally put a B down.
Well, I'll go fix it as soon as we do
Okay.
this one. How about a flying hippo for the end?
Alright.
Or a frog? Which one? Frog, fox, flying hippo.
How about a frog?
Frog, you like the frog better?
Mm-hmm.
We'll do the frog.
I actually used the frog in one of my first games.
Oh, you did?
I
What
did.
did it do?
Well, my first game without school or anything.
Uh-huh.
And I used the frog. It was actually a rather strange game. It made no sense, but it was my first game, so. You basically went around and you clicked on things, and when you clicked on the frog, his tongue shot out. And when you clicked on him again, his tongue shot.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it came
You
back
used
in.
the animation to do that?
Yeah.
All right, now so we've used we've spent almost 15 minutes just putting all this together, but sometimes that's the way it goes. Games just take a lot of artwork and artistic creation work too. I thought maybe we could use the remaining time that we have now maybe to clean up this stage that we've got going here. We're going to zoom him back out so we can see it, but I do like this player 1 score and player 2 score, but I'd really like the backdrop to look like the one that we used from the last stage. Not there, from this one. Let's just keep it looking exactly the same if we can.
All right.
So let's go ahead and inside of this one, let's see if we can't put that guy in there. We don't need the rest of this. We know what it's going to look like, right?
Mhm.
So let's go ahead and get rid of this stuff here. And we'll put this in, just like we had it in the last one. and I think that's just about right. Oh, no, it's showing a little bit at the top. There we go. So we've got that backdrop in there, and let's again. You told me. Oh, I still see one up at the top. And I let go. You told me you liked white text when we did that.
Yes, because it shows up better against the dark background.
Right. So I'm going to put the P1 score. Oh, with that big image, it does take a long time to get this stuff in. So we're going to have the player 1 score to be up in one corner. And we're going to put the player 2 score up in the other corner. And the thing that's going to tell us whose player's turn it is going to have to be it's not going to be part of the background, because it has to change based on whose turn it is. So we're just going to draw that in it. And those little variable guys, they're going to show the actual score itself. But I do think we're going to need a big square that's going to show where the tiles can sit. And that can be a white. Well, let's make it a black square and fill it with white. So it's going to take up most of the screen. And it's going to cut off our flowers, I know, but it's going to, I think, make it a little bit more consistent. If we make this screen stay pretty much the same from screen to screen, the background. So even though I'm going to put in a white background here, like that, and you're not going to see it. The tiles are going to go inside there.
You should make the square just a little bit smaller.
A little bit smaller?
Just shorter, I mean.
Oh, so we can fit in
They kind of look a bit
yeah,
squished
that's
up
fine.
there.
We can do that. How about something like that? I'm gonna move those guys.
All right.
I'm gonna put this guy up a little bit more, and then
There we go.
I'm gonna take those variables there. Those variables, we can move them quite easily up here. I'm gonna stick it right underneath the P1 score and right underneath the P2 score, like that. That gives us a little bit more room to work with. So I'm gonna scoot that up just a little bit more.
There we go.
There you go. And now when the tile actually comes in and the border shows up, we're going to change the size of those cards. We'll make it fit. It's going to take a little bit of math to do that. But we've kind of used up our time for this particular session. We didn't do any coding, but it's important to get our game to look right because we want people to enjoy playing it. And enjoying playing it can include the way it looks, the way it works, can include the sounds that are in it, things like that. So I hope it was still kind of fun to be able to go through and pick all these wonderful little guys here. And we'll get into the scripting part of it in the next time, but I hope you enjoyed seeing us kind of go through some of the cute stuff that Scratch has inside of it. Now if you're making the game along with us, absolutely don't feel that you have to do the same images we used or the same theme we used. Have some fun with it. Make the cards unique and look the way you want them to. And have some fun doing it. So we'll sign off for now and we'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.
Bye!